Well, what's going on, fellow zombies? Welcome to the diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me, with her too. It's almost 7 o'clock in a couple of minutes, West Coast times in the evening on the 4th of Saturday, April 2026. And while I'm still trying to do file work a little bit this evening, I am reminded of things that I have to watch out on this dog to make sure she doesn't take a crap on me. Anyway, the night before, or in the weekend before Easter, they usually have the movie of 10 Commandments. I got a couple of broken down DVD players I probably need to get replaced one more time. And I've been watching this thing for decades. When it came on ABC7, guess what, guys? It was always Cecil B. DeMille time. Because he was he was the favorite, he was the thing for the 10 Commandments because how dramatic it was. But you see Yul Brynner and you see Charlton Heston, and then you see the cast of characters coming out. And, you can remember the lines left and right. But I'd seen it so many times, like over 50 plus years. Maybe more than that. Because they always had it on ABC7. Like they are having it again on ABC7 with commercial interruptions. Mine could last about 3.5, almost 4. These guys make it about 4.5 hours to 5. But this is your Easter special. So right now, I am waiting for to happen. And we got commercials. It just hit 7 o'clock and we're going to be watching this thing. So, it's been shortened, it's been scrunched, as always, but still the dramatic music. This is copyrighted material, guys. When you watch the DVD, it's dramatic because they have the overture. If you happen to watch the movie Ben-Hur, they always have the overture. When you watch the older films that had like 3 or 4 hours worth, that you're sitting your butt there and it's falling asleep and you're wishing to get to the restroom. Well, when you have DVDs, you can hit the pause button and do whatever you got to do and come right back and don't feel like anything. Like, oh, good, I can see the movie again. The Easter tradition of having Easter eggs dyed and ham already purchased, ready to go for the day's consumption for Easter. And the chocolate candies that are ready to be filled in the basket. I had saved my Easter candy for about a couple of years in the refrigerator. I'll take a piece out every once in a while, but I got them in these Easter plastic eggs. I got almost 2 dozens of eggs that I can still use for eating. I gotten lazy over the past few years of switching over to plastic eggs. Maybe once in a while I'll do the dye and take pictures. I'm going to post it on Facebook. Because I still wanted to keep up the tradition of creating the Easter egg stuff. But these years, I just asked a couple of times, I had 2 bowls. I got a basket and a steel bowl that has plastic empty eggs in it. Empty, not just because of representation, but just to fill it as a visual. With a couple of Easter bunnies. One looks like an Easter poodle, and the other one looks like Easter Garfield. But a reminder to me that this still is Easter. And because I still deal with a bug war in this place, there's no way I'm going to leave the candy out in any form outside of protected areas, because these bugs will get to it. I don't want them to get into my candy. Now, I know I'm diabetic. I've checked the blood, not the finger probe, but and they did the AC test on me. And I saw the high remarks. I'm like, okay, fine. Candy sporadically, not on a constant. I got sugar to consume tonight. A banana. But it's healthy, a banana. And I'm trying to enjoy Easter with my dog winding her head up half the time and actually settle out a bit. 7 to 4 is usually a good time for her body to go crazy. I suppose I can lay in bed and listen to this thing. But if I can get one more, if I can just get the DVD player to watch, I may get through the first half of the first DVD. It's a two-parter. And then the second one is dealing with everything else that Moses is going to be dealing with Ramesses. But now I got to suffer through 2 hours till I get to the point where Moses is on the ground and he's about to be aged. He's up in the mountain. I've always had questions about this. How did they ever see a bush burning? They didn't have telescopes. They didn't have binoculars. But some are on one particular point of view. They said, you see that bush burning? Yeah, well, how far up the mountain was it in the first place? Pretty damn high. And my question was, why didn't Moses pick up his sandals and brought them with him? Of course, he had to have another pair of sandals. I don't know. Sometimes it was still a little too flaky. But to hear, when you hear Moses coming up on the burning bush, and then you hear God trying to catch his attention. Moses, Moses, Moses. I was expecting the fourth one to go, hey, schmuck, I'm talking to you. And that's you, oh Lord. Yeah, I'm the burning bush, you idiot. Get over here. Start talking to him in a New York accent. I know, Cecil could have gotten another guy like that. Instead of being classically trained in the voice, and I am telling you, this is the voice of God. Hey, will you listen to this schmuck over here? A bit of a smartass, but I couldn't be smartass in movies like this. Ben-Hur I could. Spartacus I could. But they were serious movies. But you just couldn't be that way when it came down for 10 Commandments. But I've seen this thing so many times, it's like, I want to make smart-ass remarks about it. You know, the character's talking in a different way. Not to disrespect the holiday or any of its significance. I just didn't want to I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to diss it. But this was... The Egyptian army being a pain in the ass is worse than what ICE is right now. They kill kids. But actually, they're on the same level. Because ICE also kills kids and people. That's what kind of rattled my cage a lot on that one. So I couldn't deal with it. Anyway, I gotta share something about Easter here. A few extra things. I know they're talking about Trump, and Trump losing cabinets, not to mention losing military generals who don't want to do this campaign of terror. Trump's still doing his bullshit. He's not working as often as he should. There was rumors that the guy went over to the hospital, and then people in the White House said, no, that's not true. Somebody in the White House said that. But you're telling me that's lying. Okay. So now what do we do? If Trump is actually dying, I know there's going to be dancing in the street on this one. There's also going to be people praying and crying their eyeballs out because they had that much connection to the guy one way or another. And it kind of sucks because I'm thinking about this guy. I've also been thinking about what this holiday is supposed to mean. Resurrection. But there's, to me, different ways of listening and working with the resurrection situation. Maybe I've gotten more mature at this point over here, or maybe I've gotten to a different perspective. But I feel for Trump at this point for not getting it at all. He just doesn't understand. He doesn't want to understand. So he's futzing around things. I don't know. It just drives me crazy, that's all. Meanwhile, this time, I'm going to let and watch the 10 Commandments on broadcast without having the roaches interfere with the damn thing. I hope you guys have a good Easter. That being said,